We're one American family. When one hurts, we all hurt. We are with you, and we will stay with you until Rockport and all of Southeast Texas come back.
Well, you have seen the dramatic images from Texas this week in times of crisis after Hurricane Harvey. Americans putting differences aside to help one another. So can we finally move past the heated rhetoric and the identity politics that have divided our country and come together as one? We have a bipartisan panel to discuss that. Joining us now is PhD and mother of six. We have Hope Houston. Hope's in the back in the blue. And then we have radio talk show host Carla, pronounce your last name for me. Dadassi. And then we have Navy vet and teacher Daryl St. George in the glasses in the back. And also in the glasses in the back, we have defense attorney David Schwartz. We have disaster relief responder Tiffany Barrios. Thank you, Tiffany. Defense attorney David Bruno. We have radio host Kathy Barnett. And we have attorney Heather Hansen. Thank you all for being with us.
Thank you.
Because this is a political discussion about our country coming together, let me see a show of hands of who is a conservative in the audience. Okay, now who is considered a liberal? Kind of? You're on the fence?
Yeah.
Okay, and the rest of you, raise your hands, independents?
Independent.
Okay, 4 independents. Okay, so how can we come together as a country? And I'll start with you, Hope.
I think we need to take this moment to come together as a country, one country. We are one nation under God. We are all created in equal dignity as human beings. So we need to put aside the politics and really focus on what's important. This hurricane, this tragedy in Houston and the surrounding area of Harvey is breaking all of our hearts. So we need to come together. Americans are generous. We have generous hearts, helping hands. We need to come together. We need to put away our differences. We're a big family. Sometimes kids fight, you know, but then your house burns down. So are the kids still fighting? No, they're focusing on the tragedy. So that's what we need to do.
Well, then why, Daryl, when the president wants to give $1 million to disaster relief, why do liberals, why do they say, they're tweet after tweet complaining that it's not enough, he's a billionaire, oh, come on, making fun of him? Why does that happen?
Well, you know, I can't really speak for that perspective. I think that any effort that goes towards helping people who are suffering and are in trouble, that's something that should be applauded and commended. You know, I think it's also important for us to recognize that there's no one single defining moment in American history that is ultimately going to define us, determine who we are as a people. You know, when I enlisted in the United States Navy, it was in response to 9/11. And the bumper stickers that you saw everywhere after 9/11 were United We Stand, whether you were liberal or you were conservative. And I served in the Navy with people from all different backgrounds, African Americans, Hispanics, whites, liberals, conservatives. So I think that in these times, whether it's last week Charlottesville, this week it's Harvey, what's it going to be next week? You know, going forward next week, whatever we're faced with, we've got to recognize that first and foremost, we're Americans.
Yeah,
and part of being American is embracing our diversity.
Well, Kathy, on that note, is it time to move past race as an identifier? He brings up Charlottesville.
You know, the identity politics is a manufactured issue. It's not an authentic issue. It's kind of like Russia. Identity politics is just another tool of the left to resist this president. So I absolutely think it's time to move forward. But I also think it's time for Americans to realize that if we want unity in our nation from a political perspective, we're going to have to force that unity upon them. It's unrealistic to expect a leopard to change its spots. And it's also unrealistic for us to expect mainstream media and many throughout our political spectrum to suddenly have a kumbaya moment when their whole mantra has been to resist this presidency.
Tiffany, do you agree?
Well, I do agree that we definitely need to work collectively together. I think as a nation, we collectively need to exhale. And there were many amazing stories that came out of Hurricane Harvey. The truth is, in a week or two, the cameras are going to be gone. How wonderful would it be to see people with boots in the water serving together? I mean, what comes to mind is maybe Nancy Pelosi and Lindsey Graham. I'm not picking on them, but just what the nation would love to see is, listen, let's put some masks on, some gloves, go into a home and help serve together, lock arms together. And then the bonds that are brought about through that type of relationship imagine how the conversation and the tone can change when you have served a family together, when you have seen the tears in a mom's eyes together, and then how that would translate when you go back to the grandeur of the halls of the Capitol Hill.
Yeah, David, wouldn't that be nice? I mean, we've seen Congress is taking 12 days. They're only working 12 days in September. They have the rest of the time to go help these hurricane victims.
Right.
David, I know you've said it's time to stop antagonizing. Both sides are antagonizing each other.
Absolutely. The solution really is gerrymandering. We need to get rid of gerrymandering. We only have 72 battleground districts in Congress. We have 450-something districts where it's either an R district or a D district. We need more battleground districts. That'll bring more moderates into Congress, and that'll create more solutions and more deals to be made.
Heather, your perspective?
I think, just feed off of David's point, I think that we need compromise. We all know how to compromise. We compromise with our spouses. We compromise with our children. Compromise is not about win-lose. It's about win-win. And we need to do that within our families and within our communities, and then we need to demand that of our representatives.
Yes. Okay, Carla, we haven't heard from you, and then David, you'll be next, the last two that
So I just agree that, you know, national disasters do not have a political party. They do not have a race. They do not have a religion.
Yes.
And we are all Americans. We all have to come together. And the first story that popped out was about Melania's stilettos. That was really disappointing to millions of Americans. And now we're seeing that the governor of Texas, and with Vice President Pence, is going to have a national day of prayer that he's declared on this Sunday. And I think that prayer is the only thing that helps millions, and it hurts no one. So everyone can come together, and that will unite. And we often see the day after a tragedy, 9/11, we watched what happened at 9/12. That's the most exciting part. We come together. We all bleed
Hopefully
red.
it will last, because
Yes.
9/11 lasted for, what, a year? And then after that, the country's divided again. David, what's your perspective?
Yeah, I think the politicians really need to step up right now because Americans are fed up. There was a recent Quinnipiac poll that came out that said Americans are dissatisfied 85% with Congress. And right now, they have an excellent opportunity to come back and do a couple things: infrastructure, tax reform, some things that they could really come together and really help the American people.
Y'all, thank you so much. This is what America's about. I love you all. This is a great perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
And y'all will be back. I think Brian's going to be talking to y'all next, about an hour. Brian's yelling upstairs. He can't wait. All right, Jillian's upstairs. She has some more headlines for us. Hey, Jillian.
Good morning, Ainsley. Good morning to you at home. Former FBI Director James Comey was ready to clear Hillary Clinton in her email investigation